It's a beautiful Wednesday morning. Welcome to West Breakfast. Hashtag what are you saying? My name is Omotoshola Sharimaki, and with me this morning is hello, Mama. Good morning to you.
Hi, my love. Good morning.
How
How
you
are you?
doing? I'm doing pretty well. It's a rainy morning, or the rest is a drizzly morning. It's been pouring since like 5 a.m. this morning. How are you though? Did it by chance affect you trying to commute to work?
Not really. I mean, this is more like my kind of weather, honestly speaking. I don't like sun. So I just wish there are ways we can make sure sun doesn't come out. But I mean, that would be we not eating because literally that's where the what do they call that now? The plant
Yeah.
gets their photosynthesis and all of those run up,
From
So
yeah. Well, actually, I like the rain. I do not like too much of sun because I do not like heat. But then the rain comes with flooding, it comes with traffic, it comes with you not seeing public
and that's
transport,
that's that's
it
not the
comes
rain's
with
fault. That's the government's fault.
okay in
Uh,
Lagos State because it's not applicable to other
you
states.
see, so.
Well, if you're here to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV, click the subscribe button now, like and share the link, and then share to family and friends. Don't enjoy this content alone. Today, we'll be talking about mental health, and we'll be joined later by Mind Recovery Coach. Stay with us, we'll be back in a moment. Glad to have you back from that break. This is still West Breakfast. Hashtag what are you saying? Now let's take a look at different stories from the pages of today's newspaper. And today we've got the Punch newspaper, the Guardian newspaper, and the New York Times. And from the Punch newspaper, which is where I will be starting from, the major headline here says, on cholera, 33 states battle 2,102 cases as NYSD enforces street camp rules. Under it, Lagos, Bayelsa, 8 others have 90% of cases as infection spread to 112 local government areas. At the top right corner of the Punch newspaper, Tinubu 6 National Assembly's nod as tax regime begins in January. Right beside it, Nigerians brought 16 trillion naira generators for Nigerians bought rather 16 trillion naira generators fuel in 2023, says federal government. And from the banking, CBN threatens to sanction banks rejecting old dollar note. At the bottom corner of the Punch newspaper, federal government directs MDs to patronize made in Nigerian goods. Right under it, Dangote decides high interstate interest rates seeks government intervention. At the middle of the bottom corner of the Punch newspaper, 5 to die by hanging for herders killing in Osun State. And finally, on the Punch newspaper, Southeast governors to meet Tinubu for Nnamdi Kanu's release. And the story that piqued my interest this morning is from the health sector. I'll do a quick details of the story. The story here says 33 states battle 2,102 cases as NYSD enforces strict camp rules. The Director General of the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, Dr. Jide Idris, has said a total of 2,102 suspected cholera cases and 63 deaths have been recorded across 33 states and 112 local government areas in the country. Idris stated this in Abuja while giving an update on the campaign against cholera outbreak as the National Youth Service Corps introduced street camp guidelines with the commencement of the 2024 BAT B Stream 1 orientation course. He said to ensure a successful program, the Director General of NYSC, Brigadier General Yushau Ahmed, has has issued strict instructions to camp coordinators and officials to prevent the outbreak of cholera in orientation camps nationwide. I picked this story because we've been talking about cholera back to back now, and right now there are thousands of Nigerian youth in Nigerian camps, in national orientation camps rather, and we know how bulky these things have always been. Yes, we went to camp at one point in our lives, and you know how in a camp you can have like 1,000 students, for them to even split them in platoons, right? So I appreciate the fact that they are trying to ensure that there's no cholera outbreak in camps, because if there's cholera outbreak in any camp, best believe they will turn that place to quarantine center. They will quarantine them and turn that place to like what do they call it now? A center where they'll have to put all of them in a space. So it's not just about talking. It's not about ensuring that these guidelines are implemented. Will the Red Cross ensure that the food they give the camp the core members or intern PCM or already core members, the food they give to them, the food they sell in camp, because most of people do not eat from I'm trying to remember the name. They buy from Mami Market, right? They need to ensure that all the food they buy from Mami Market, down to suya, down to the smoothie that they drink, is very, very well prepared and very, very safe. So if they can ensure that all these things are done and that there's a clean environment, there's a space for the core members to wash their hands, we understand that we can't all be neat, right? But if you're in Rome, you obviously have to behave like a Roman. So if you're dirty from your house, coming to orientation camp, you have to be very, very neat. Putting all of this in consideration, I'm very sure cholera will be a thing of the past pretty soon.
So I agree with you, honestly, because, I mean, why are we always talking if we're not putting in the work? That has always been my number one, honestly. So if I'm to add anything to that, I would just say that in as much as they have brought out all of these things, they should make sure that the facilities needed to carry out all of these things they have said is available, the adequate ones. Then they just make sure that they work on it, not just by talking. So let's quickly fly to the New York Times newspaper. Major headline read, Justice Give Triumph, Substantial Immunity. Right side of the newspaper has landmark ruling in January 6, case expand presidential power. Beneath the picture has Save America March, has January 6 trial delayed, but chance for a revealing hearing is set. An airing of more facts could still happen before November. Beneath that, fighters in refugee camps are switching to hardline factions. Then next to that, we have Macron rigs it all, and now he's a Mirand. Next to that is the last headline, which is how Democrats let Biden's run build into crisis. So the headline that particularly intrigues me is the Macron rigs it all, and now he's Mirand. So the French president, Emmanuel Macron's political power has greatly declined after his party lost badly in the first round of parliamentary elections. He took a big gamble by calling for an early election and dissolving parliament, which backfired. The action was weakened by his political movement, Macronism. The far-right National Rally gained a lot of votes, challenging Macron's party even more. This means Macron's party is likely to have much less influence in parliament, ending the strong political position Macron has held since he became president in 2017. So this is just to say that it's not only in Nigeria where we have the whole political game and all of those things. Now, I understand that in France, they use the semi-presidential system. So they use both the parliamentary system and the presidential system. So that way they have both the prime minister and the president, right? So what's his name now? Emmanuel Macron, which is like the current president. Since he wants to, what do they call that now? He wants to run into seat again, but you know, a situation where you're not doing well for the people. Mm-hmm. You don't have the people's interest at heart, and you want to run into office. So they have this legal backing that when they feel like okay, they have what they call the calling of early election, right? So that way they dissolve the parliament they have in existence. That's both the National Assembly and the Senate, and he puts people he feel like would work for him or would agree with whatever, what do you call that now? whatever he's planning to do for the next tenure, right? So he called that out. He made an early election, but guess what? This time around, it backfired. So just like I said, it just shows that many people just go into sit with their interest at heart. They don't go into sit with the interest of the people at heart. So you see now that after all of these things that he has planned to do, so that he would gain more strength and probably have a more better chance in winning the second tenure, it just backfires. And I actually love it. Now the prayer is that whoever that's coming on seat, because I mean now it's in the favor of another political party, so whoever that's coming on seat would actually serve France well. If not, honestly, when I read this, it just makes me remember that, okay, it's not just in Nigeria that we have the whole political issue, you know.
With my experiences watching Indian movie, I can say for a fact that Indians are really, really suffering bad government, because it's been portrayed a lot in their movies, and we hope that France do not, you know, they are far from there, but yes, we have a final newspaper to take, but we have to go now. We have to take a quick break to bring back our guest, because today we have to talk about mental health. We oftentimes like to shy away from that conversation because we believe that talking about mental health makes you feel shallow, makes you Gen Z, which is not. It's something that is very, very particular to everyone. We take a quick break right now to return with our guest. Please stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
So from a sovereignty perspective, from a, what I call it, a PR perspective, a brand image perspective, not to mention the security challenges, the modes of transportation of presidents is important. So the question is not whether they should have a jet. Yes, they should have a jet. If my president turned up tomorrow on a local flight, I would be embarrassed. So, yes, we should have a private jet. The problem is, as it exists today, we already have a fleet. There were planes before, right? So the question is about needing to purchase a new one, right? And I keep saying that the management of the image of this administration is one that could be better, could be handled better, right? When we want to get things done, they've shown us, this administration has shown us that they will get it done. It took one speech to remove fuel subsidy. It did not take them how long to pass new national anthem, right? So you keep validating the perspective that you are disconnected from the reality of your citizens. Absolutely. And that is a problem.
It's a pleasure to have you back on the show. Today we will be talking about our mental health, our mental wellness, because to be honest, we cannot stop talking about it. The same way we prioritize our mental health, our physical health is the same way we are going to prioritize our mental health. And today we'll be having a conversation around social media and mental health. And joining us via Zoom is the CEO, Psychomedical Organization, and a mind recovery coach. Her name is Tolulope Akinyemi. She'll be joining us to have the conversation around mental health. She'll be joining us to have the conversation around digital detox and its impact on wellness. Good morning to you, ma'am. Glad to have you on the show.
Good morning to you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming too. So,
Good morning.
all right, so we're talking about digital detox and its impact
Morning.
on wellness. In fact, we'll be analyzing the benefits of taking breaks from social media. Because when we talk about digital detox, it literally means a period of time where you reduce or eliminate your use of digital devices. These can help to improve your mental health by giving you a break from constant stimulation and allowing you to focus on the present moment. We know this already, but now I want to ask you from a different perspective. You are a mind recovery coach and you also own a psychomedical organization. Now, from the psychomedical perspective, what does digital detox entail?
Okay. Question. Basically, detox, when we talk about detox, digital detox basically is about, staying away from digital devices. But how does it have impact on your mental health is what is very, very important. You know, we live in a world where we now prioritize our mental health, or let's say there's going on. Can have diverse effects, on your life generally. So basically, digital effects from the mental health perspective is just you taking a break, taking a break from social media, from technology, everything that has to do, just digital device. Attention to your mind, pay attention to what is going on around you, paying attention to your thoughts and processing them, analyzing them and seeing that, okay, is this thought, a healthy thought? Is it a good thought that would improve my mental health? It's just basically staying away from digital, devices to concentrate on yourself, on your mind, and just, to renew your mind and make you, sane. We have a lot of things going on social media right now, that can actually affect your sense of reasoning, your thought process, and you begin to believe things that are not. Do you understand? And before you know it, if care is not taken, you begin to live in the false reality of the things that you've been feeding your mind with. So basically, it's you taking break from digital devices to focus on yourself.
Okay, so I hear you when you say taking digital detox is you taking a break and all of those things. But I still feel like, okay, imagine me that I work remotely, right? Most of my job is on the screen. How do I balance trying to leave my screen and all of this? And somehow I feel like, is that not the reason why we have yoga? Thank God you are a mind therapist, right? Is that not why we have yoga? Is that not why we have going to the gym? Because I remember the last time where I had, what do they call that now? A fitness time, right, with my coach, and we did all of those things. I did the whole jumping, the whole everything we did. I wasn't on my phone. So is that not another way of having this? What I'm trying to say in essence is, I feel like I don't think this digital detox is that important, because there are people that work remotely, right? I work remotely, for example, and I'm always on my screen. So how do I balance both trying to be safe and take care of my mental health, and at the same time work without following the whole digital detox?
Okay. I also work remotely,
Okay.
so I have like first-hand experience in that. So basically, doing exercises and yoga alongside with your phone is not the only way to, taking a break
Okay.
or to concentrate on yourself. Now, taking a walk, for example. Personally, I take a walk, I take a walk when I am done, if you're a remote worker, you don't work 24/7. I always say that you can't work like, let's say, the old clock. You will have, like, let's say, 1 hour break to yourself. Thank God it's a remote work, you can always do that for yourself. So maybe within, even during the day, you can have 2 hours or 1 hour break for yourself, just to, do something. And the reason digital detox is health mentally, that's one of the reasons why people battle with anxiety and depression, because there's a way when you spend so much time on your screen, you are just bored and you're just there. And you will just need, like, there are sometimes that you just need to get out and just, feel the real world out there.
Pressure.
Maybe taking a walk, like I said earlier, or probably, just interacting and spending quality time with friends, can improve your mental health. So you can actually, like, stay away from it. Like, as a remote worker, you don't work 24/7, and you can take a break of, let's say, 30 minutes or 40 minutes just to reboot. Yes, just to reboot or something. So I feel like it's something that is possible. And if you go to gym, yeah, I've been to gym before, and there are times that you would need your phone, to listen to music to keep you energized and all that. But I would say that that is why we have, sometimes in the digital, I said digital, sorry, in the gym, wherever you registered in, there are DJs there are musics that keeps you, going. So you don't necessarily have to take your phone along or something if you really, like, want to, probably keep fit, because there are a lot of people that go to gym and, their purpose is different. But if it's genuinely for you to take a break and just focus on your health, you don't necessarily have to go with your mobile phone. Since at the gym there is always some music's going on, and then even during gym, that's when you meet new friends. Imagine you are always with your phone 24/7, you will be alone. It causes loneliness, and loneliness is one of the ways that depression sets in. So it's just important that, and I see that a lot. I see that some people go to gym and they're always with their phone with their earpiece plugged in. It's not so healthy. It's not so healthy mentally. It's okay that you go out, maybe to the gym, or you take a walk without your phone, and you concentrate on yourself, and then you interact with people around you. You try to mingle with people, you try to build quality relationships. I know that social media has created a platform where we can actually build quality relationship online, but we can also build quality relationship offline too. Much more quality relationship offline. So it doesn't always have to be with our mobile phone every now and then.
Interesting. You talked about how phone at times makes us feel lonely. I stand to disagree, because some of us actually
Disagree too.
enjoy being alone. In
I
fact, we
disagree
don't
big
mind
time.
taking three-bedroom flats that we're staying there all by ourselves, right? And we just want to see our phone, our system from Netflix, and rolling from one bed, and then constantly going to the kitchen to eat something. Now, my question is, what are the signs that someone actually need or might need a digital detox? Because I don't know, I enjoy social media spaces. I enjoy going from TikTok to Instagram, from Instagram to check Pinterest, to check this, to check that. So how do I know? What are the signs that I will start to feel or start to see that, okay, I think I need to take time off social media space?
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so firstly, the first statement about the fact that you said that, okay, so there are some people that just like spending time alone, and that might be as a result of their personality traits.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, for your example, you said that you enjoy being alone with your phone, three-bedroom flat, all alone by yourself, just moving from TikTok to Instagram for this and that. It might be as a result of your, probably you might, I'm not saying emphatically that you are, but you can actually tell me if it is. You might be an introvert, let's say, or someone, an introvert basically likes to spend time inside. So it's not even something that they would want to do. But even though you spend so much time, even inside and everything, you will realize that you have, sometimes you don't sleep early. sometimes you don't sleep early. You spend enough, like so much time on your phone that, you know, to sleep will not come. Before you can sleep, it will be like 3 a.m. I'm speaking from like personal like experience. I like to spend time alone too. But sometimes you just get tired and you just like, what is going on? Like you can't sleep. You're having different thoughts. Some people go through like people that I have been able to counsel, they go through different thoughts, negative thoughts, you know, and it affects them diversely. So to answer your question about what are the signs that you need to like, you know, what are the signs to look out for before you know that okay, digital detox is, you know, something that you want to like probably consider is number one, when you have just unnecessary thoughts going through your mind, and not just unnecessary thoughts, disturbing thoughts, negative thoughts, persistent, and it's persistent, has been persistent, and you cannot control it. Let's say maybe it's as a result of a video or content you watched on social media, for example, during the time of COVID-19, and there was some massacre and all. You know, there were times that, you know, a lot of people were affected by the things they are seeing on the screen, the death, the massacre, the everything. And it's having diverse effects on their mental health. And I personally have to stay off social media and be like, oh my God, I can't do this. Because some people cannot even sleep and be like, you just start dreaming different stuffs. So what do you like? You have to like once you start noticing that you know your the negative thought is persistent, you want to take caution. Number two, when you start having anxiety, you know, when you're just scared for nothing, there are times that, you know, you just like, oh my God, some people just have that sudden unknown fear and it just starts getting scared. The house that normally you are always like inside, there's nothing wrong with you, but any small thing, let's say something drop in the kitchen, you are easily triggered and be like, what is going on? You know, that is one of the signs you need to look out for to see that, you know, you have to take caution and probably, you know, go for detox. And also depression. Maybe you're extremely sad. You just notice that, you know, nothing interests you anymore. Nothing interests you anymore, and you're just bored, you're tired of everything, things that you normally do and you enjoy, but you just feel like, I don't want to do this again. You know, those are one of those things that you have to look at. So when you start feeling that way, it's time to, you know, probably stay away for some minutes, for some time. And also, as a remote worker, there are times that there is something we call mental blocks. Mental blocks. It happens to creatives that work remotely, especially like, let's say, if you are a social media manager, content creator, something in the creative world, there's a lot of mental block. And it's as a result of when you have exposed yourself to so many things and it just affects your creativity and you cannot just be productive. Something that you normally do at a time, maybe you're given a task to do and you do it perfectly, but at that time, you just don't know anything. At that time, you need to take a break. At that time, you just need to like take a break. Probably you can even inform your boss and be like, boss, something is going on. I just need to refresh. It's one of the things that is needed. If you want to like, most especially if you want to keep your job and you want to really like, you know, be productive and extraordinary in what you do. It's something probably you can even that can happen even during the weekend, maybe when you are not actively working. So you need all of that, you know, to help you stay productive. Other things that okay, I think those are the major signs to look out for.
Okay, so I remember when you said something around the other mechanisms. There are other mechanisms apart from yoga and what did I mention again? Gym that can be used for people that feel like this digital detox is impractical because I do too. So what other mechanisms do you think would be helpful for us?
Okay. Firstly, I'm going to say my favorite one is taking a walk.
Okay.
Taking a walk just leave everything that you're doing and just go out and just take a walk. Now, taking a walk can, you know, different thoughts will be coming through, flowing through your mind, you know, different things, but just take a walk and process your mind. That's the first thing that you can do. Then, secondly, you can actually pray. I know some people will be like, oh, what if I'm not a Christian? But if you're a Christian or a Muslim or you believe in God, you can take time to pray. Taking time to pray would actually like it's something that can refresh your mind. And without any sound, without just go to God and just alone time with God is one thing that refreshes me a lot. So you would want to try that. You might want to try that. Those are the things. Then thirdly, I would say spending quality time with friends. Let's say, yeah, friends and family, anyone, just like reach out to them and just go without your phone. Yeah, it works so much. Like just have heart to heart conversation with your friends. Those are the things that can like you can do that will improve your mental. You just feel refreshed. To some people, depending on your personality trait, there are people that are always exhausted when they go out, spend time and all that. But there are people that are also always refreshed when they spend time with people. So if you are that kind of person, you want to, if it works for you, you want to like spend time with family, your friends, and if you have a partner, you might want to engage in conversations, different kind of conversation. It might not be something related to work or anything serious, but just laugh, have fun. Then you can also visit, I wanted to say you can visit orphanage and just spend time with them also. Those little things, can just help you to be refreshed. Like it help you to be happy. Being around, maybe if you are the kind of person that like kids now, you might want to, maybe visit an orphanage where there are so many kids, just spend time with them, laugh, play. That's the like quality of that's the best kind of life you can ever have. And I would say that's one thing that digital or social media per se is taking away from us, because those are the things that we used to have when we were little. We don't have anything like digital. We always just play around with our friends, and we'll be jumping from one place to another, be doing buzz and TV, we'll be doing different things, and those are the things that helped us then. So although there are positive effects of the digital devices and all that, but nevertheless, we shouldn't forsake, just interacting with our community, with our friends. There are people that are living in a flat and they don't even know their neighbor. They don't talk to them. They don't interact. It's not supposed to be. Do you understand? Those times you can just go out and say hi to your neighbor. Do you understand? Like just little kind, and then one last thing, little act of kindness can also improve your mood. Most people don't know that. That's why you see most of the time some people that have like some people that have so many things to give out, or people that have money, or people that don't even have as much as they want to. When you give out, there's a way like you are relieved and happy. There is that sense of happiness, fulfillment. It just comes to you. Those little acts of kindness also help in a long way. That is why you see when we are talking about mental health awareness, we always preach that you be kind to people, because the way you are giving out kindness, it's also returning back to you. That's why we tell people to be kind with their words, be kind to people in your actions, your behavior. Like one of the things that we talk about during mental health awareness is be kind to people in your heart, in the way you approach people, in the way you talk to people. It costs nothing to be kind. Just be kind to people, because when you are kind to people, you are also getting the kindness in return, and it improves your mental health too.
Thank you very much, Solu. I really do appreciate it, because in a way, I was literally picking what I used to do when I'm trying to take time off social media. For me, I like to play game alone. Yes, I know. I've said it to someone before, and the person asked if I was going through depression, because I enjoy playing Scrabble alone. I enjoy playing Monopoly alone. But I think, like you said earlier, it's personal trait, individual trait rather. We have to go on a break right now, but when I come back, I'll be playing a video that has to do with social media and how it affects children. I want us to come back to talk about it from a child or under 18 perspective. We'll be back in a moment. Please be on standby.
Thank you.
So that's why I said I totally agree with you, right? That what is it that the National Assembly is going to do? What applicable laws do we need to amend? What are the things that, because it's one thing, I like what the caller said. You can't just ask for things that are achievable. You can't just make, if you come to the table and you say you want to have a conversation, you come with reason. The numbers that are being requested, there's no sustainability in it. There's no basis for it, because you pay a salary on the basis of value. Am I getting 494,000 naira worth of value out of you? No. Am I getting 250,000 naira worth of value out of you? No. If you think you can get that value, go somewhere else and go and get it, right? So let's be clear. Even when we say let's go to the National Assembly, let's be clear on what we're asking for. Even if you go and, that's why I said I don't know whether the protesters themselves will survive it, because you just can't go and constitute a nuisance somewhere and think that is why somebody is going to listen to you. If your child does that to you, beat the hell out of the child.
Etiosa, where we are in. Etiosa's FAC allocation is about 698 million per month. Etiosa's estimated IGR per month is 1.6 billion. 1.6 plus 6, let's just say roughly 2.2 billion. You don't have water, you don't have public schools, primary healthcare is a sham, and you call interlocking tiles an express. Really?
The impact of social media is undeniably harmful to our children.
Yeah, you said it's putting our ability to connect and influence children's life in grave jeopardy.
So this world of virtual reality and social media has divested us of what it means to be human. It is antisocial, disconnected, fake, superficial, artificial, materialistic, comparative, competitive, separatist. In every way, it is eroding what it means to be a human soul. It is teaching our children to be entitled, indulgent, instantly gratified, all the things that we should be walking away from. We should be slowing our pace. We should be stilling our spirit. We should be soaking in nature. We should be connecting on a human personal level. We should not be in goal orientation the way we are. Oh, flick of a button and my food shows up. We should be in process. We're missing the process of our creativity, of our joy, of our hardship. What happened to pain? We're trying to do away with pain in our thirst for happiness. And what we're doing is we're creating greater fragility because we don't have the resilience to tolerate pain because we're wiping away pain.
Yeah, nobody wants anybody to have a moment of uncomfortability.
And that is why our children are crumbling. Our children feel the pressure of this artificial world like no one else. The impact of social media.
When I saw this video, I was like, oh no, this is it. Because social media space right now, Tolulope, are you still with us?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm very sure you saw the video too. Right now, the social media space, I do not want to use the word toxic, but I feel like that is the best word to describe the social media space with. Throw back to when a 25-year-old, a broke 25-year-old is normal, seen as being moderately and normally broke. But right now, a 25-year-old, a 21-year-old cannot even be broke. A 21-year-old should have been using the likes of iPhone 14. A 21-year-old should have at least 10,000 followers on social media. There is so many competition on social media space. People are even going bikes, arbitrary more than what they can take in. People are going extra mile just because of what the social media standard is right now. And this is one of the reasons why we need to take social media digital detox, because it helps. You don't get to think about that girl that just got a pink Range Rover, or a girl that just opened a mansion on the island and she's just 20, she's just this and she's just that. Now, I'm interested in knowing what you think about social media, a digital detox in the life of children. Because it starts from childhood. Right about now, most of us are addicted to social media. Most of us, when we wake up in the morning, before we even carry our hand, we pick our phones first. We press it for like 1 hour, 30 minutes. Then we drag ourselves out of the bed to go have our bath and then prepare for the day. Before we sleep at night, we are doing the same thing. While we are working, we are pressing phone. We are always staying updated. We are the one to check. We'll be the one to know when Davido is getting married. It's the same way we stay updated on sports, on politics, on... It's a lot. So what do you have to say about children? Because right about now, it feels as if, okay, we're already growing past that level, but we can upbring our children to become better citizens.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so talking about the effects of these digital devices on the children under 18 and even 21 young adults, it's so disheartening. It's so disheartening to see that there are a lot of unhealthy competition on social media, especially.
Tolu, are you still there? Oh, I guess we're having a bit of network issue. Now, God's beauty, let's talk about what she was trying to talk about. We just saw this video, and I saw that you were literally nodding your head and, oh, okay, affirming or agreeing to what they were saying. They talked about how social media space has become pain, where they make you hide your pain, where they make you feel like you're not supposed to be going through pain, you're supposed to be wealthy, you're supposed to be influential, you're supposed to be in wealth and all of that. I'm sorry, but I like to put this to you, right? What is your take on social media itself and digital detox itself?
Okay, so, I mean, first off, who make these rules or those laws? Because I hear you when you said before now, a 25-year-old is literally less bothered about if he has money or not. Do you get what I mean? But right now, a 21-year-old wants to make the money anyhow, anywhere, any possible means, right?
Oh, sorry, God's beauty.
Okay.
Oh, sorry to come to your stream of thought. I think our guest is right back. Tolulope,
right.
Thank you for coming back. Are you with us? Can you hear us now?
Coming back, are you with us?
I guess we're still having a bit of network issues, but... All right.
Okay, so as I was saying earlier, right? I was saying who made the rules? I think this just takes us back to family units. This just take us back to you knowing yourself. You spoke about this whole children thing. You would agree that growing up, there's some level of don't touch that phone. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Don't touch that phone. See, let me now give you the rules I had when growing up. By 9 o'clock on the dot, you should be on the bed. On no account should you be caught watching movie. Even down to when I started using phone, right? Even down to when I started using phone. On no account should you be seen pressing phone at a particular odd hour. Like, that was the rules and regulation. So growing up, I already had those rules guiding me already, right? So this is me just saying, I feel like most parents, I think we're having a conversation around the fact that a child of 11-year-old, you're already giving that child as a birthday gift an iPhone 14. Yeah. What do you think that child is going to use it for? So for me, it just takes us back to the parenting style that we have recently, the style that had been adopted by our Gen Z parents and millennial parents, right? Because I see the way they train their children, even child of 2-year-old. There's a video I literally saw earlier yesterday where a child of 7-year-old collected her mom's phone, ordered a bag of about $600, and her mom was videoing her, asking her, why did you touch my phone? How did you know how to order? Like, this is, your child did something. You sat down comfortably and you took a phone and is that what you're supposed to be doing as at that time? Do you understand what I'm saying? So it just boils back to the kind of parenting style that's been adopted by these recent parents, right? You cannot keep complaining that the rate at which the adolescents are always on the phone are too much. Why you yourself, you have not made law, you yourself, you have not restricted them, you have not told them you've not told them reasons why they should not always be on their phone. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like when the parents start adopting these measures at which they regulate their children, it won't stop. It won't.
Tolu, do you agree with what she just said? That it's a family unit thing or a parenting style thing? Tolu, can you hear me? Okay, while we try to connect back, I'd like to ask this question. She talked about something that I would have loved to ask her.
Okay.
She talked about the fact that even if you are working remotely, you should try to take time off. Now, let's say you are not working remotely. You work in the office, not even hybrid, not even some days in the office. You work in the office 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. What can our employers do to ensure digital detox? Because in a way, I suffered something on over the weekend or so. I overslept and I missed a message or something. Okay. And it was a bit of back and forth between me and the person in question. So let's say that weekend, I decided to have a digital detox, which means the message that was sent to me that early morning, I didn't say. The meeting I was supposed to attend that morning, I didn't attend. And I just declared that week, okay, I'm taking social media break or something. Coming on Monday, either a query is waiting for me or maybe something from the HR department, right? So how do we speak to our bosses that there are times that we need digital detox? If you need me to do anything, just call me. But just call me for a minute and just let me read. I don't want to start opening my system to join a meeting or what's it called? Join a meeting or start doing one or two things or sending emails back and forth. So how can our employers or help in digital detox? Because to be honest, working alone is mental tasking. One thing that I learned is working, like mental work is the most stressful part.
Yes.
I feel like bricklayers are even enjoying because they're working with their hands and energies, right? But when you're working with your brain, my sister used to say something that when you're working, she oftentimes advised people to take Coke because it has a lot of energy to help boost your immune at the time. But not everybody takes soda, right? So how can our workers, because we understand that they want to put emotions apart, because running business in Nigeria is really not easy, and all they want to see is result. We understand we cannot fault them, but how can we convince them to see that, okay, digital detox is very important?
So first of all, I actually am of the opinion that we don't just need only digital detox alone. Okay. Because just like I told her, there are so many people that their phone is actually, their work is actually on the phone. Yeah. So I don't see how practical that is. Now, because if you're saying we should take time off, those time off is probably when I'm using the time I'm using to eat, or the time I'm using to answer a phone call. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So you come in to now tell me, I think this is time where you need to take the old digital detox, whatever. I feel like it's not very feasible because not everybody has that time. Talking about remote work, what I can say is for you to get the best part of your workers as an employer, you have to ensure that they are comfortable. You have to ensure that they are okay. You have to ensure that whatever space they find themselves in is not toxic and all of those things, right? So putting the right things in place is what would work. So now what can they put in place in order for them to work? Like I said, I don't see how very feasible digital detox is. But trying to add other things, because if you're saying, stay away from your phone without you doing anything.
I intended to even ask that.
Just stay away from your phone without doing anything. I don't know how that's supposed to work.
I wanted to ask her that if I'm staying away from my phone, what else should I be doing?
Exactly, because you have to be doing something. How do you just sit down and you stay with your phone? That's when I feel like the whole loneliness and depression, whatever she's saying, detox, whatever would help. That's when it even comes in. Do you get what I mean? That's when it comes in. So
Tolu, we've been having this conversation, and I really need your take on your expertise perspective on it. Now, when we finally decide to have a digital detox, what should we be doing? I have a phone, I have an iPad, I have a system, I have a TV, I have everything that are well connected, right? this weekend, I've decided to stay off all social media platforms, decided not to even press my phone or scroll through my gallery. What do you advise me to do? Because I remember talking to a friend that I used to play game on my own, and the person said I should stop doing it because it's giving depression vibes. So what do you expect me to do?
Stop it. Okay. So number one thing that most people find so difficult to do is to meditate. You can stay away from your phone, write down some, positive things that you want to see happen in your life, your aspiration. Sit down, maybe at the corridor of your room or anything, and just meditate on the words. Like if you are a Christian, you can meditate on the word of God. Just pick one word. If you are someone that believes in positive affirmations, those positive affirmations that you say in churches, you say to yourself every morning, pick it up, sit down, concentrate on those words and think about it for 30 minutes. Think about it for 30 minutes without thinking about what will I eat, who is thinking about me, who drops an email on my DM or whatever. Shut down every distraction and focus on one thing. That's the most difficult things to do for most people, especially people that are addicted to their phones. You understand? First thing, take time to meditate. 30 minutes, do that. Even you can do that every day. You can start with 10 minutes meditation without thinking about it. Just do it. In fact, it will help you to be productive and it will help you to live a better life. That's first thing. Then secondly, you can buy a what or Ludo and then you play with your friend or your neighbor. It doesn't have to be your digital device. I tried that recently and the feeling is different from, just playing games on my phone. It's different. I went out with a friend and there was a Ludo and it's been a while, for like 10 years or so, I've never played it. I was just like, let's just try this out. And then we started playing Ludo and laughing and gisting and it's a different thing. You can do that. You can do that. And then exercise in your house, like in your room, in your apartment. You can engage in exercise. You can, just exercise, do something. You can dance. You can dance to songs, just vibe, just all alone. Yes, you can be happy all by yourself. What I used to tell people is that you can do a lot all by yourself without, especially when it comes to do with your happiness and your mood. You can dance. Just turn on your Bluetooth and let it play and dance. You can dance. That is a form of exercise. And I praise to God. Do you understand? And I heard that you made a comment, maybe asked a question about how can you notify your bosses. That is why we have HR. You can't just declare that you want to do digital detox all by yourself without informing the right people. Who does that? No. You might want to write an official statement, and that is why there is always leave. Anyway, there are some job description that will give you time for yourself. In a week, you can have a leave for maybe a day out of 7 days, maybe Sunday or Saturday or Friday or Monday, whichever day they give you, might be your time to detox. Do you understand? But the problem is that during our time to detox or to take a break from work, we engage in some other things. I'm talking about also trying the effect of these digital devices on the children. It's because of the early exposition to social media. And I don't know if TikTok still does this thing, but there is this, I don't know, TikTok and Instagram. There's a way you can regulate the kind of information you see on your screen. If you have children around, you can activate options on your Instagram or TikTok where when it's a children handling the phone, they would regulate the kind of things they see because it's affecting them. Their way of thinking is different. Like someone said earlier that, there are some of them that they feel like it's not okay if you're 21 and you're not rich. And that is why you see them going to doing, some fraudulent online cybercrime and also, involving in what we call Yahoo of a thing.
Tolu, I'm
Because
so
they
sorry I
want
have
rich
to
quick.
cut into your stream of thought. Can you hear me, Tolu? I'm so sorry. We have to really wrap it up now. We are so sorry we had a lot of network issues, but I think very soon we'll bring you back to talk about something related to our mental health rather. This is where we wrap up the show for today. Thank you very much for joining us. Tolu, thank you very much for joining us too. God's Beauty, thank you very much for being a part of today's show. And to you, our viewers, thank you very much for always making it a date with us. Before we go, do ensure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, follow all our social media platforms. This is where we wrap up the show for today. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.